We've all heard the old saying, there are two sides to everything, but the truth is, a lot of issues invite many different points of view. Issues such as neighborhood recycling, dress codes at our child's school, a pay raise for an employee in our department, things like that. In everyday life, we communicate our stance on different issues in various ways. For instance, by voting in an election, by writing a letter to the editor of the local newspaper, or by submitting a report to our boss. In the college classroom, students may be asked to take a position on a given topic and to defend that position logically in a persuasive writing assignment. With the help of Dr. Sandra Gibbs, we're going to look at some effective persuasive techniques that we can use in our daily lives. And the writer John Milton observed that where there is much to learn, there of necessity will be much arguing, much writing, many opinions. For opinion is but knowledge in the making. For myself, when I get involved with an issue I care about, I tend to start by basing my position or thesis on personal opinion. And sometimes, as I learn more about the issue, I discover concrete evidence that reinforces that stance. But other times, I uncover evidence that leads me to take a different position entirely. To see how this can work in real life, we're going to meet an individual who investigated a situation and took a position based on solid evidence, not just personal opinion. Juanita Marquez is an office careers instructor at the Bill J. Priest Institute. Her primary responsibility is providing individualized instruction in office technology. But she discovered a need that led her to create the Unique Boutique, a room that contains donated items for students who can't afford appropriate clothes for school or for job interviews.
I created the Unique Boutique because we at the Bill J. Priest Institute have a dress code, and many of the students were not adhering to the dress code, and I asked them why they were still wearing jeans and warm-ups, and they mentioned to me that they could not afford to buy any clothing to come to school, and so I felt that there was a need, and I wanted to make sure that we were able to provide for them so they could meet the dress code.
Before the Unique Boutique became a reality, however, Marquez had to gain approval and backing from school officials. To win their consent, she presented her argument in a paper.
The central idea to the paper that I wrote in seeking approval was to show that there was a need and that I was interested in helping the students meet those needs, show to them that it would benefit the student, it would benefit the school, because at the end our students would be able to have made a change, and we would place them on jobs.
Marquez also made a point of getting to know her audience so that she could understand their needs and concerns and make the most effective appeal.
The appeal that I did in my written document was to show what I was doing already, and that indicated that they could trust me. And I also indicated the benefits. Have a mission and wanted to let them know that this would not only benefit the students, but it would also benefit the job training center. And that's what I felt, based on my research, that they were looking for or wanting to hear in order for me to get a yes answer.
Because she understood her audience, Marquez knew what she had to research so she could answer important questions.
I knew right away that the people that I was working with wanted some justification. They wanted to know where I was going to put the clothes. They wanted to know how much it was going to cost. And this is basically based on my research and getting to know who they were. And I had all that information, and I had answers for those questions, and I documented that so that if the question came into their minds, the answer would be there.
To Marquez, sincerity is the most important element of an effective appeal.
It's like a glove.
It's good. And in order for me to hear the yes, I have to believe in what I'm doing and create that trust with my readers. And Also, I have to think about it, and I have to plan it, and I have to organize it. It takes a long time. It's not easy.
Clearly, this individual made a decision to champion an issue she cared about very deeply. Dr. Gibbs, how does Marquez use thesis support as a means of persuading her readers?
She identifies a need. She understands that there is something that needs to be done, but she also understands that there are two needs. There's one for the students. She wants to have something done there, but there's also a need to have the administrators, the people who will help her to get done what she wants done. There's a need there that they understand that also. So she has a need, she states it, and then she gets support for this. She understands that her audience has to believe in what she's saying. They have to focus in on what she's saying. So she has a statement, she sees a need, and then she supports it.
All right. Well, what are other situations or circumstances in which we might use this form of persuasion?
There are all kinds of instances in daily life where we have to persuade someone. Very simple things like trying to persuade the person that we report to at work on a particular instance. We may need to do a memorandum for support. We may need to do a letter to the editor. We may even need to write to the mayor, the city council to try to get something done. Child care, care for the elderly, air safety, all kinds of instances just normally, daily, that we need to persuade someone, and we need to be able to support it with clear-cut examples.
Okay. Dr. Gibbs, thanks for showing us how the material we're learning can be put to practical use.